Ugh. Whoops, went a little outside the line there. Can't even trust me with the Sharpie.
Each week, I get the free game from the Epic Game Store. I have over 400 titles, and until the start of the series, I played less than half. A dozen. I've stopped calling myself a gamer and started calling myself a collector. Now, I may never get through my back catalogue, but I can't stop it getting worse. Join me as each week I play through the latest giveaways, and maybe we find some gems along the way.
If looks could kill, she'd tear your heart to pieces and eat it. No reason, got venom in her lipstick, sadistic, I'm dead. If looks could kill, I'd be buried like 10 feet. Come get me, I'll dress it for a funeral. Like usual, I'm dead. If looks could kill.
This week's first game was Novalands. Novalands is a factory building, exploration and island management game. After crash landing on a hexagonal plane with nothing more than an extractor, you're instructed on how to move, and the rest is up to you to figure out. I explored my island, extracting everything I could, not knowing what would be useful. I eventually ran into another settler, who immediately took off to a nearby island where an encampment was already established, leaving me alone to fend for myself again.
Wait, come back!
I collected a few more resources before discovering the construction panel and figuring out all I needed for now was stone. I collected enough stone to build a furnace, which unlocked oxygen generation. I built more furnaces and a research center before running out of oxygen and not knowing how to get more. I knew water was somehow involved, but had no idea how to collect it. So I accepted my fate. I stood there waiting for the sweet embrace of death, convinced I'd have to restart the entire game and make oxygen my #1 priority next time. Instead, I respawned back in my escape pod with half my health, considerably more forgiving than I expected. I immediately focused on water this time and discovered the blue berries I had been collecting were in fact water balls. With my oxygen crisis solved, I researched a jetpack and a radar, which allowed for exploration of additional lands. Soon after, I unlocked robots and eventually made my way over to the established settlement, where I was rewarded with quest opportunities, a shopping hub, and cosmetics hut. I was given a key to an underground bunker and told I should not venture into that place without some additional information. So I jumped in anyway. I started a fight against a giant moth. It didn't take long to realize that my equipment, and more importantly, my oxygen supply, were not up to the task. I watched as my poor robot pet died before succumbing to the onslaught of lamp enthusiasts myself. Overall, I had a great time with Novalands. This game does an excellent job of teaching the basics without constantly holding your hand. Every new resource tier naturally leads into the next, and while there doesn't seem to be a huge emphasis on story, there's frequently another technology to research, machine to automate, or island waiting to be explored. My only real complaint about this title is that it is occasionally difficult to interact with a building you are trying to interact with. I regularly found myself awkwardly shuffling around buildings to clip away from one interaction in favour of another. This would be simple enough to fix if the cursor highlighted the building in question instead of whatever was deemed closest to the character. Thankfully, the developers seem genuinely interested in player feedback. I give this game an 8 out of 10. The other game this week was Tattoo Tycoon. Tattoo Tycoon is a story-driven management simulation game where you build up your own tattoo parlor from humble beginnings. I started with a tutorial, was taught how to tattoo when the boss burnt her hand on a hot coffee.
Sorry, Bob. My apprentice will have to finish your tattoo.
The tattooing minigame is actually quite enjoyable. You simply colour inside the lines, making sure to monitor the client's pain threshold in order to avoid them flinching or walking out entirely. Although, I did discover a rather amusing exploit. If you simply tap the tattoo gun instead of dragging it continuously, you can avoid building up enough pain to trigger the mechanic at all. Not sure if that's intentional, but it certainly works. After your boss has her entire business shut down by the local business tyrant,
Odd. Long time no see. How's business?
You? What are you doing here?
You owe me and my bank a lot of money.
you are tasked with taking over the building and starting again from scratch.
You know what? You're right. We're not giving up. Go on. Take what's left of my parlor and prove the Tycoon wrong.
It's at this point you are taught about decorating the parlor. You unlock a chair, a cactus, and an outdoor sign. You're told that the better your decoration rating, the more patrons you will attract. You're taught about energy. Running out of energy will leave your character completely drained, unable to complete any tasks, and moving around at a snail's pace. You're taught about consultation, where you must chat to a customer in order to identify their likes and dislikes, then select a stencil they might fancy. Get it right, and you got yourself a customer. Get it wrong, and they leave, taking your stencil with them. The final mechanic introduced in the tutorial is inspiration. This is used to unlock furniture, learn new skills, and purchase additional stencils. It was at this point the tutorial ended, and to my surprise, continued the game from that exact state, instead of making me start again. This is a huge and unexpected improvement over other games in the genre. Once I finally unlocked staff, I immediately hired a receptionist, not because I desperately needed one, but because I wanted absolutely nothing to do with the consultation mechanic.
Right? That's not my job, that's your job.
This freed me up to focus on cleaning the back room and tattooing clients myself. I did notice one strange issue though. Occasionally my receptionist would somehow burn through multiple stencils during a single failed consultation. Since you're only allowed to recommend one stencil while handling consultations manually, this felt more like a bug than an intended mechanic. The tattooing minigame never became repetitive, even after several hours of play, and there was always another quest, unlock or upgrade to work towards. The game also teases future locations, additional skills, and plenty of new tattoo designs, giving you a good reason to keep playing. I give this game an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, you might be interested to know that I've started streaming my playthroughs, at least for now. Check the description for the Discord channel. Otherwise, please like and subscribe to be notified of next week's giveaways of Echo Generation and Luto. Or if you've played either of these titles yourself, please drop a comment and let me know your thoughts.